Hey guys, so today is going to be kind of a long video, so get yourself a drink and enjoy. So there is a video going around that a dad posted about that's kind of outing these people that are bullying his daughter and then the parents of those bullies, and it kind of got me thinking, and I wanted to share my own bullying story. And I was bullied in middle school and I was bullied in high school, but I'm mostly going to talk about high school because I think that one is a little more friendly, I guess. I can do a middle school one later on, but I think the high school one is going to be the one I'm going to talk about. So in high school, I moved from Utah to Alaska when I was 15. So I had already done 9th grade and I was going into 10th grade. And the way high school works, or the way middle school works in Utah, is it's 7th, 8th, and 9th. And then 10th grade you go to high school. And the way high school works in Alaska is 9, 10, 11, 12. So I basically kind of skipped that freshman year, which is a blessing and a curse. I was emotionally still in middle school when I went to high school, and everybody was kind of emotionally, like, had already gone through it, and I hadn't gone through that like change yet, and it was really, really hard. Something about myself that a lot of people either you know or you don't know, I'm a really empathetic person. I feel really deeply. I'm really sensitive. If somebody's upset and sad and crying, I feel their pain. I get sad, I cry, I get really upset just because it's just how I am. It's something that I've come to really love about myself, and something that I also kind of don't like, because I wish I wasn't as sensitive. I wish I didn't take everything somebody says about me, not everything, but somebody close to me, I take everything that they say really personal, and I don't like that. I wish I'm getting better about it and not taking everything so personal, but I do still, which is funny because I'm on YouTube, right? So I haven't really received much hate yet because not a lot of people watch me yet, which is kind of why I'm posting this video now. Even if it helps just one person, I will feel better about it. I'm really kind of nervous to post it. It's taken me lots of time to record it because it's not like embarrassing, but it's really hard to talk about. In 9th grade or in 10th grade, I met a boy and I started dating him all the way till after graduation. He moved back to Utah, and I were just a mess for each other. I'm not going to get really into it because that is very, very personal, and it's very hard, very, very hard to talk about. We were terrible for each other. He was his own mess of problems and I was mine, and I think I have come to the realization that I think that we were both so lonely and so in pain that we held on to each other because it's all we really had, and it was a comfort kind of thing. I started cheerleading my sophomore year was great. He and I were, whatever, we did fine. Sophomore year was awesome. So then junior year comes, and I started cheerleading halfway through junior year. The first half of junior year, I kind of lost some friends, but I also kind of gained some. It was just like, things changed, but it wasn't bad, it wasn't awful, it was just normal. Then I started cheerleading in halfway through junior year. I started basketball cheer, and I was great at cheerleading. I was so good. I loved cheerleading. It was awesome. My whole life became cheerleading. Cheerleading and my boyfriend at the time. That was my life. So football season started, and he and we had been on and off all summer because his family was going through a lot, and I was trying to be supportive and be there for him, but he didn't want me to be there for him, I guess. which I understand everybody deals with things in their own way, and that was just how he dealt with his things. So I started football cheerleading, and our coach at the time stepped down. So we got a new coach who was a mom to one of the girls on our team, and that girl became captain, and her best friend became co-captain, which was fine. I didn't care. I was like, whatever. I didn't want to be captain. I had no desire to be captain. I don't want anyone to think that I wanted to be captain, because I didn't. And those two girls, though, had the power to either make or break you on the cheerleading team. Make everybody love you, make everybody hate you. And apparently, I don't know what I did. I don't know if I did anything, or I don't know what happened. But apparently, those girls did not like me anymore. They didn't want to, and I used to hang out with them. That was what I didn't understand, is I used to be really close with them. Anyway, so they decided basically I just was not cool anymore, and they turned all the cheerleaders against me. So not only was my boyfriend for almost 2 or 3 years at the time, we were on the rocks, and just our whole relationship was just disintegrating out. And then my cheerleading was just falling apart. So my two everythings soonly became, I don't know if that's a word, but that doesn't sound like a word. Soon became nothing. I didn't have anything. I made it through the season, and then I just stopped cheering. I was just done. I was so upset. I started the basketball cheer. I went to a couple open gyms, and the girls were saying awful things at practice, pretending like, I don't know if they're thinking that I couldn't hear them, even though I'm 5 feet away. Just awful things. So terrible. It was just so bad. And they started spreading rumors about me, and in a small school, rumors fly. So the whole school just was had all these rumors about me, and there was just all this drama all the time. And my boyfriend at the time was just being total jerk. And finally I just ended it with him, and then I kind of started to date there was 2 high schools in my town. I didn't not date they were my boyfriend. I just went on dates with other guys at the other high school, because they didn't really know me, so they didn't know any of the drama really. But then as soon as it got to them, it just it turned into more crap. So then I just I was done. I just cut everybody off. I stopped going to school really. I got mono 2 months before school ended, so that kind of was a blessing. Sadly, it gave me an excuse not to go to school anymore. And one of the girls that was awful to me, we were in yearbook together, and so I saw her all the time because I was always in the yearbook room, and she just was awful to me. And she would make all these terrible comments about me to everybody, and it was just, I just didn't understand what I had done. And I wanted to sit down with her and talk to her and figure out what was going on, because we had been such good friends. But it was never the opportunity was never given to be able to do that. And at the time, and now that I look back on it, I wish that I had just gone up to her and be do you have a problem? What is going on? Why do you hate me so much? And so it was just no matter what, I couldn't get away from these girls. And I finally, my mom kind of noticed a difference in me. I was really negative all the time. I wasn't sleeping, and I've always kind of had an insomnia problem, but I was literally not sleeping. And I was angry, I was negative, I was mean. I was just, and I'm not a negative person. I'm a really happy person. And she was what's wrong with you? What's going on? And I finally told her that. I was just everybody hates me. Everybody hates me at school. Nobody likes me. My boyfriend won't even talk to me. He's awful to me. He wants me one day, and then the next day he doesn't. He wants a different girl. It was just I was a convenience to him, basically. Sorry, it stopped recording. So at this time, my mom had kind of talked to a couple people, and I didn't care if adults knew what I was going through. I was never, I was not really like if they knew kind of the basic, they just knew, my mom had kind of basically just made it like girls are just mean to her. Like she didn't tell them like everything that was happening, but she was like, people are just mean to her. Like she didn't, nobody, like I don't understand, but people are just mean to Alex. So she asked me like, what do I want for graduation? Do I want like a graduation party or anything like that? And I was like, yeah, I do. I want a big fancy, like I want a big bash. I want it to be giant. She's like, why? And I was like, because I want it to be a celebratory thing that I never have to go back to high school. I never have to see these people. I never have to be around these people, and it's all over. It's done. I don't have to be with these people. And so I told her, I was like, I want tons of people at graduation just for me. So that way, because when I was so scared that when I walked across that stage, my classmates were gonna boo at me and nobody was gonna cheer. Which I think, you know, was kind of an irrational thing. I shouldn't have been so scared about it, because no, I don't think anybody's that outright that awful. It only happens like in Lifetime movies. But I was scared, like I was terrified that that's what was gonna happen to me. So, and I told her that, and she was like, I will make sure nobody boos at you. So she had all her friends come, and my dad was there, and just like everybody was there. Everybody was so excited. And when I walked across that stage, I had never heard so many people cheer for me, and I started crying. Like I was so just overcome with the fact that I never have to see these people. I never have to come back to this school. I never have to be here again, and it's over. It's done. I was so excited. And we went to I had my graduation party, and it was huge and it was awesome, but I was still really sad and upset whenever I was alone. And my mom was scared to leave me by myself because she was so worried that I was gonna do something, that I was gonna hurt myself or anything like that. Like she was just scared. Like I would come home and be on the floor bawling in her arms. And I remember one day I was in the living room. I had just gotten home from something, and I was in her lap hysterically crying, and my stepdad walks in and he looks at me, and I look up at him, and he has no idea what to do, and I'm his only kid. So he met my mom when I was 11, so he kind of met me at that like the girl to woman stage. So he didn't understand. He thought I was like, I think all before that, he thought I was doing it for attention and all this stuff, but that in that moment, it hit him, and I could see it on his face that this was real. I was so upset and bullied and hurt and destroyed and just so, sorry, I just popped my knuckles. I was just like, I was just so emotional, and it finally hit him that this was something real and that I was really dealing with it. And it wasn't an emotional cry for help or anything like that. I was just sad about everything. And then after graduation, I met two friends, and it took me a couple months to like be able to tell them what happened, because I didn't tell anybody. My mom was really the only person that I would talk to about it, because she understood my emotions better than most people. And I had gone to counseling at my school. My school had a teen health center. If your school has this, I really suggest that you take advantage of it, because it's amazing. I got counseling for free whenever I needed it, and I had scheduled appointments every week at the same time, it was like Tuesdays at 1 or something like that. And I went every week, and it was free. I didn't have to worry about my insurance. I didn't have to worry about anything. And if your school has that and you feel sad or you feel upset, you need to take advantage of it, because even if you just want to talk about nothing, they will talk to you about it. If you want to talk about, sports, or if you want to talk about makeup, or you want to talk about anything, they will talk to you about it. You don't have to talk about your problems. I can't even say that enough, that you really, if you're feeling this way, you need to talk to someone. You need to tell someone, because even if it doesn't have to be your mom, it could be a friend's parent, it could be a teacher. You need to tell an adult what's happening, because you can't handle it on your own. You may think you can, you may think that you're strong enough to do it yourself, and you might be, but nobody should have to handle everything by themselves. Nobody should have to deal with being hurt and being bullied by themselves. And I, for the longest time, thought I was ugly, thought I was fat, thought I was the nastiest thing in the world, thought that nobody could ever love me. Because obviously, I think my boyfriend at the time, he did love me. I think he did in his own way. But the way he showed it to me, I felt like I was completely nothing. Him and that whole thing in itself caused me a whole lot of drama and a whole lot for that my husband and I still deal with to this day. We still have discussions about it, and it's I just want anyone to know that even guy or girl, if you're getting bullied, you still are beautiful. You still are a strong person, and you still are amazing and fantastic, and you have so much to offer. You have so much to offer. It may take you a while to get to the point where you can talk about it freely. I'm 21, and all this happened in high school and middle school, and it took me a really long time to be able to talk about it. And I just want, like, I can't even explain it enough that you are enough for anybody. And if somebody tries to change you and make you something that you're not, you need to cut them out, and you need to not be around them. And you need to surround yourself with people that love you for exactly who you are. Even if you're like me and you're highly sensitive and highly emotional, there are people that are still going to love you no matter what. And you need to just accept it. You need to love yourself. You need to be your own person, and you are exactly enough for anybody. So that's kind of where I'm going to leave off on this subject. I could go, I could continue on and everything. But if you want more videos like this on this subject or on any other kind of subjects like this, or, self-confidence and how I've built up my self-confidence to where it is now, because it's always a work in progress. I can post more. Leave in the comments or Twitter or whatever, or on my Facebook and stuff, more things that you would like to know about this subject. So I hope you guys all have a great week, and I hope you had an amazing weekend. And take this video either with a grain of salt or not. It's just kind of a story, I guess, of what happened to me. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.